Hi, everybody. Yes, Thor's Mom's Day is tomorrow. That's right. Free today. That's right. And there are a bunch of people who think the world is going to end, and none too, and never too soon for those fuckers. And it'd be one of these. This guy'd be one of those people. Obviously, Trump being the flabby hedonist that he is, and as Nunt Days go, this one's embarrassing. I'm having a hard time looking at his neck right now. Good Lord. Please tell me. I'm not even sure I could do this one. Jesus Christ. Woof. That's a lot of. Maybe could get it stapled or something. Maybe whatever they have that threading, which I hear is a terrible thing. Works early, but once you do it, because it's like putting barbed wire in your face. I don't know, it's weird. You're talking to somebody who doesn't understand Botox, but that's because I'm a silly rubber-faced git, as some people will say. So we're going to jump right in because I got way too much shit today, as per usual, because there's a lot going on just in the general stuff that we deal with all the time. And then I want to show you something else. Apparently, the faux-aggressive world is having a moment. There's a panic going on where apparently there's left-on-left crime apparently is a thing, allegedly, amongst the faux-aggressives. And it's pretty hysterical, I have to say. I've been watching from the sidelines. I kind of don't give a shit, quite frankly. I think it's very fascinating that it seems like everybody that TYT platforms eventually turns on them, and then in attacking those people, the TYT dials back shit they've said about me, which is so weird. Anyways, there's just so much going on. And by the way, before we even get into that, if I may, hello chat room. Hi, everybody. Look at you. These are beautiful people. Hello. Hi, how are you? Hey, there you go. Yes, he's got a definite turkey neck happening. I am on a roll. It's fascinating. Hype train. We're going to get there. TYT getting called out. Yeah, Gank and Snaky Anna. It's very strange. And I have to say, is Anna okay? I don't know. And I don't care. Yeah, TYT calls me a Biden lover and blah, 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 blah. And then they go and support, walk back. Yeah, I don't know. It's fucking stupid. Get over your goddamn self. Anyways, they're like this all the time. How many jackets do I own? I own a lot of cheap ones, Dragonflyer. A lot of ones that look great on camera, but in person look like shit. And I had many of them in a box, and I decided when I started wearing jackets on the afternoon show, I was like, oh boy, I'm gonna go through these in rotation. I've worn this one before a couple times, but I don't expect you to know that. You're not here every day. I just want you to know that I love you guys. All right, so let's jump in with this twerp right here. Hold on, whoops, wrong screen. This one, at this point, we're just throwing the whole, I'm campaigning for president for real thing out the fucking window and just diving in on, please give me power so I can fire the people that are coming after me. That's all this is about. And I would like to say for the record, anybody, and I mean anybody, that drags this bullshit around that they're only attacking Trump because he's the Dems' political rival and that's why they're going after him. Asshole. He committed these crimes before, and he was being charged before he officially started running for president. They knew he was going to run again. That's neither here nor there. But the classified document scandal specifically, that was another unforced error by this lifelong fuck up. So I don't want to hear that they're only going after him for classified documents because they're running, he's running again and people don't want him to be, I don't know, fucking fix the border. I don't know. And why the fuck he couldn't do it in 4 years when everything is so easy with this son of a bitch. You ever notice that? Everything about every problem you can think of with the United States, every complex problem that people have been back and forth over for years, this asshole still says he could, even though he was already there for 4 fucking years, could solve it in 24 hours. Everything. Could fix it like that. Well, if that was the case, why didn't you fix it when you were there? And if you fixed it, why didn't it stay fixed? Honest to God, this motherfucker is running to be a piece of duct tape. That's it. Like from a political standpoint, like what the fuck is he good for? If you're only the country only works if I'm the one pulling the levers. Well, you can't do it forever. Then what? I don't know. After I die, you die. Like, get the fuck out of here. I find it aggravating. It's one of the singularly most aggravating things about this dumbass is that he still, even after 4 years in office, says he could fix everything really quickly and can't explain why he didn't fix it while he was there. It's just fucking stupid. And of course, he was there. He tried some shit. And when you ask him, like, well, how would you fix it now? He's like, I won't say what I'll actually do. I can't tell you what I would say to, Xi Jinping or Putin or any of these fuckers. I can't tell you what I'd say, but trust me, it'd work. Come on over here. Like, it's so aggravating. Here we go. So, but now the important thing is that he needs to fire anybody who's going after him for cheating banks and the IRS and his ex-wife.
Chris.
And by the sorry. And this is part of
more dire threat to the American
dire threat. Okay, first of all, I don't know why this is so fucking quiet.
There is no more dire threat.
There's no more dire threat. Jesus Christ. I'm not familiar with Darth Threat. He's one of the lesser known Star Wars villains. There's no more a whole lot of lumps. Oh, no, you don't. I'll do it myself. Watang. Darth Threat.
To the American way of life than the corruption and weaponization of our justice system.
I don't know. I most of us are worried about, healthcare, possibly, whether or not we can unionize, those kind of things. That comes up a lot. I don't think we deal with the weaponization of it, very often. I mean, I understand why it's on your fucking plate.
And it's happening all around us.
It is. It's everywhere. You get pulled over for speeding and you're like, why didn't they stop all the other people? I was driving the same speed that they were. I mean, I hear this from people who can drive, which I don't. Towards hopefully getting Oberman and Rappaport. Hopefully I spell their names. Yes, that would be awesome, Luis. Absolutely. And thank you guys for the super chats. By the way, patreon.com/HalSparks, all that kind of stuff. I fucking forget.
If we cannot restore the fair and impartial rule of law, we will not be a free country.
Well, and by free, he means a place where he doesn't have to pay taxes. I can't get all this free shit. I can't grab, a free piece of ass, whether you want to give it to me or not.
As president.
Oh my gosh, Therese, thank you so much.
It will be my personal mission to restore the scales of justice in America.
Threat.
We want fairness and equality under the law. And to that end, I will appoint U.S. attorneys who will be the polar opposite of the Soros district attorneys and others that are being appointed.
And others that are, whoever they are, look, I am going to, for sure, appoint people who are not, and I repeat, not going to go after me. That there will be the opposite of people who will see me committing a crime and do something about it. That is, if that would be, they say don't have a litmus test. That's my litmus test, is the polar opposite of people who will look at the evidence against me and do something about it.
Throughout the United States, very unfair to our population, very unfair to our country.
What population are you talking about? It's a pretty narrow group of people, like you and your attorneys.
They will be the 100 most ferocious legal warriors against crime and communist corruption.
Crime and communist corruption. It really is the worst kind. Would communists, how corrupt, all right, follow me on this. Okay, how capitalist do you have to be so that you're so corrupt as a capitalist that you're ultimately a communist? You know, like the socialism for the rich kind of concept. And the same would be true of corrupt communists. How corrupt must a communist be before they are simply no longer a communist? These people are such bad commies. They're not even commies anymore. They're like them. They're 10 times more corrupt than 0 times 0 shit
that this country has ever seen. As we completely overhaul the Federal Department of Justice and FBI, we will also launch sweeping civil rights investigations into Marxist local district attorneys.
Yeah, okay. This is like the worst thing that can possibly happen is the weaponization of the government. So, as soon as I get in there, I'm going to bring 100 psychopaths from my side of the aisle and sick them on locally elected DAs across the entire country, using all the power of the legal system of the federal government to attack local DAs and judges who've been appointed or elected by the people of particular cities. Fuck states' rights. If you, like, tit for tat, this is so stupid.
And that's what we have. They're Marxists in many cases.
In many, some of them aren't, obviously. Some of them are, they're kitists, some of them just like to spend too much time in the park. Others, there might be a couple of there might be a couple of Harpoists. They love Oprah, and they don't know why.
By refusing to charge countless crimes, these Soros prosecutors appear to be engaging in selective enforcement based on illegal racial discrimination.
Okay. And by the way, you know how he calls, like, the DAs that are after him racist? 2 of them, anyways. Can't call Jack Smith racist because Jack Smith's white. But he calls the other 2 racist because he's white and he thinks these are black people who are racist against white people, specifically. Which is, it's amazing how, if you don't commit a crime, how unracist they are towards you really quickly. But in the meantime, he thinks that they are not prosecuting black people specifically. That they're, sentencing reform does not apply to broke-ass white people or, violent people from, who are Hispanic or Asian or white or whatever. It's just black people, right? And so, therefore, they're racist in reverse, meaning that they're trying to it's so stupid. Like, it's just, that's what he's talking about. They hate me because I'm orange.
In Chicago, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and every other city where these maniacs have taken over.
These maniacs have taken over. He means been elected.
The DA's offices should face federal subpoenas of their staff, their emails, and their records to determine whether they have blatantly violated federal civil rights law.
Well, I would... there's steps for that. And the way you would do that is the way they do it in the South, for example, when we've had egregious examples of this, wherein the federal government, through the DOJ, would, based on evidence, would file a lawsuit in court, a civil rights lawsuit in court, against the DA's office of some particular place. There's plenty of, as a matter of fact, it's interesting. It's often used for the exact opposite of what you seem to be trying to use it for, and maybe that's all this is about. But you can just fucking do that, And then they'll get discovery from you. You'll get discovery from them. They'll get to see what evidence you have. Yeah. And then you'll get called an asshole, and the judge will throw your shit out, and, rinse, repeat.
As part of this effort, there should be a federal inquiry into the Soros prosecutor in Austin, Texas, who charged a veteran with murder for defending himself against a threat.
Okay, this is him trying to steal Abbott's thing from the dude who drove into a fucking BLM crowd, and then when people like started hammering on the car because he was trying to run people over, he shot some people. That's
by a heavily armed.
But obviously it wasn't because he did that. It was because he was white and a veteran. Obviously, there's something about local Texas DAs.
Armed member of a radical left mob. I will also order the Department of Justice to establish a task force on protecting the right to self-defense, which is under siege nationwide.
Is it?
In addition, we will have a complete...
But just for the record, no, it is not.
Investigation into the use of police state tactics by federal authorities to arrest...
Okay, all right. Police state tactics. He put a break in the phrasing because... that make it sound like police state tactics. Like, these are tactics only used in states as opposed to county sheriffs. I don't know. Also, you will see that there are a lot of serious issues brought up in this video. I am not going to treat them seriously because this is an inserious man.
Member of a radical left...
Watch how he says police state tactics.
I will also order the Department of Justice to establish a task force on protecting the right to self-defense, which is under siege nationwide. In addition, we will have a complete investigation into the use of police state tactics by federal authorities to arrest conservatives and Christians. We will find out who...
Yes, that's what they're doing. They're rounding up Christians. They're just that, it's, like if they even see you wearing the fucking thing, you're going to get busted. Jesus Christ. Because they built this shit on top of this one anti-choice activist who says he's a Christian, by the way, has all the shit hanging in his house and all the lapel pins you could possibly want. I have not seen anything about this that would say that his character reflects such a thing, but he was arrested because he physically assaulted someone, and therefore it was a federal civil rights act because he's violating their civil rights, and so and he brags about having a shit ton of guns, so they showed up just in case, and they arrested him and piss off.
Ordered it, and we will hold them totally accountable. There is
as opposed to marginally.
There's much more that we must do. We have to confront this radicalized law in schools.
This radicalized law in schools.
Take a look at what they've done to our schools.
Yeah, it's true. The Biden administration, with their infrastructure bill, adding air filtration systems that filter out germs because of post-COVID, they can put those UV lights in there that they can swap out that basically kills pathogens in the air. This is terrible. They're rebuilding schools all over the place. They're taking lead pipes out of the systems and stuff. We've got to stop this.
Beautiful schools.
Our beautiful schools that poor people go to, public schools. Our beautiful schools with our beautiful children that women raise.
We have to reform the far left bar associations and
because they're tormenting Rudy Giuliani.
Stop the purge of conservative lawyers from major law firms.
He means the people he hires who lie to the court, and then the bar, because it's such a high-profile thing, reacts to the fact that they've done this and has to make an example of them, does what they do to any lawyer that does this, but he doesn't give a fuck about the ones that don't work for him.
I will do whatever it takes to save
I believe that.
our legal system among the greatest achievements of Western civilization.
It's big run-on sentence. He pulled a walk and he just knocked the period out of that.
From the Marxist barbarians who seek to destroy it.
Uh-huh. And the worst thing about all the Soros judges is when they eat a giant turkey leg, and go, they're all sluts. You know, it's just. Sorry, those are the Marxist Sumerians. That's my bad.
We will do that. We will save it. Thank you very much.
We were good so fast we could save it. Thank you very much. So good. Yeah, so I feel a lot better. I know you do. That voodoo that you do so well. Yeah, his eye, I agree. Some people are Conan the Judge. Crumb. I've never prayed you before. What about South by Southwest? Yeah. Well, that's Austin. You know, Austin's too much fun. Shoop. No, thank you. Yeah, he's this whole like, I think he's becoming Herbert Lom in the old Pink Panther movies. I'm cracking up. Yeah, yeah, that was sad. And like he has to crank these things out again. It helps him push back against the the FEC, any charges that the Federal Election Commission will and the hell with you, right? That that they would charge him after he's just been grifting off of his people and doing a fake presidential campaign.